Hey guys, Frost here. Welcome back. 3 days. 3 days left until the official launch of Classic World of Warcraft. It's been a long journey. We started this about 3 years ago. And now that we finally get it, I cannot believe it. I can barely contain myself. Like, I wake up every day and I can go like, holy shit, we're getting Classic World of Warcraft. Wow. It's finally here. It's finally happening. On today's video, I'm going to touch on a couple of subjects. A lot of new things just came out of nowhere. A lot of new information about servers, about loot system, about leveling guides. It's gonna talk about each and every one of them, and hopefully we can learn something new from it. Now, before we get into this, I want to announce again that my character will be an undead mage on the server Farlina NA. I'm going to level in less than 1 week with my group of 5 people. I'm going to have a spell cleave group, 2 mages, 1 warlock, 1 priest, and 1 druid tank. I'm going to level from 15 to 60. The reason why I'm rushing to 60 is because I'm going to be streaming the whole process on Twitch, and I want to get ahead of the pack. Now, normally I'm against speed leveling. I would love to enjoy the experience and all of that, but don't worry, I will be leveling second characters. I'm going to be playing on the EU servers as well. And just to get ahead of the pack and be able to provide for my viewers the content to level 60, I decided to do a speed run. Now, in the past weeks, I've been spending with my group time talking about paths. We've been making spreadsheets about what dungeons to do, what quests to pick, and the entire plan of the process. In these times, a couple of new information arose. First information was about a bunch of information came from the Reddit AMA with the Classic World of Warcraft development team, where people like Omar Gonzalez, Brian Birmingham, and all the rest of the Classic WoW development team responded to questions that were asked by the community. I think this is what I want to go over first, and without further ado, let's just go on it. So the first question was, I'm gonna pick the important ones. So the reset days. The reset days will be just like on Classic. The raid resets days, so nothing changed there. In terms of dungeons, and this is important because we learned something from each and every one of those questions. Dungeons will be capped at 10 players, except like School of Man, Stratholme, Darmol, and I think Blackrock Depths will be capped at 5. What this means, during the leveling, you would be able to log on an alt, invite him into your 5-man party, create a raid, everyone from the party would log out, and then with the alt you would reset the dungeon. So this can help you as a player in a variety of ways. If you plan to grind a dungeon, probably this will work as well. Resetting the dungeon with an alt or a friend. It doesn't have to be an alt on a second account. Interesting. The honor calculations, apparently the rounds will not need to be restarted or taken down for your honor to update, or for the bosses to respawn. They even said something that they would be able to keep the server 2 weeks in a row or even 3 weeks in a row without requiring a maintenance. Remember those maintenance days back in vanilla when you had to wait for the server to go up? This can be skipped now. There was another questions about guard respawns in when you attack a major city. Apparently the mechanic behind those guard spawns are mechanics from BFA. They said they will look into it, and they will make sure they will get it right. Then the question about debuff priority, we'll have a debuff priority system like it was in 1.12, and they replicated it. So that's interesting as well. They talked about the gold transfers. You cannot transfer gold between BFA and Classic. I think that everyone knew that. And if you purchase gold from third parties, it could lead to suspension and permanent ban. Also, yeah, holidays will be the 1.12 holidays, so a couple of my videos are quite accurate in these terms. They said something that they have a much better system of detecting gold sellers in Classic, so be careful if you buy gold. You don't want to get your account banned. It's not worth it. Now we come to the important questions, which are the loot and phases. The loot table is from patch 1.9. What does that mean? I think that means that since the gear it's tuned to be 1.12 version, everything in Molten Core will be available. I mean everything, in theory, like the Hunter's Leaf, the Benediction Quest, Choker of Enlightenment, the two-handed sword from Raggy, what's the name of it? You know, the one, the OP one. Things like Ring of Spell Power, Mana Igniting Cord. I'm not even sure if the Robe of Volatile Power will be there, but a lot of things, everything that Molten Core has to offer will be available. And there was an answer here that someone said, including the bindings. So the bindings of the Windseeker, you know, the Thunder Fury stuff. Now that doesn't mean that you can get Thunder Fury, because you have to go to Blackwing Lair to smelt Elementium ores, and it's a much more complicated process. But all the loot in Molten Core will be available from day one. This will change a bit the meta, as Molten Core will be literally a gold mine for items, some of them that will be used for a long time. That means you'll be able to have a tier 2 pants and head, various for rogues you'll have Perdition and Corehound Tooth. Warriors will be able to go two-handed fury with the sword from Ragnaros. The meta will change a bit. For rogues, probably the best spec will be in phase 1 combat daggers for PvE DPS. For warriors, it might be two-handed fury with the sword from Raggy. Mages will be able to compete in general spellcasters due to the amount of gear available at launch. And if the loot in dungeons is the same from patch 1.9, a lot of new items will be available in dungeons. So some of the pre-best in slot guides available there might not be 100% accurate, but don't worry, this will get fixed soon. So this is a huge thing. Some people might not agree with it. It's kind of weird. I'm okay with it, as I said on and on and on. When I rolled in Vanilla on Ankiraj, the round that was opened in January of 2006, most of those changes were already into the game. So I am used with this. I experienced Vanilla like this, and I honestly don't mind. Now, a lot of things like the quest hubs from Thorium Point, from Jinta lore, they will be in game. This will add new items in game, such as the back from the Jinta lore with spell power. It's pretty good. It's not best in slot, but it's pretty good. The trinket with 1% hit and 20 attack power, which can be very good for some classes, and so on. Basically, you'll have more quests available to reach level 60. Items added in later patches. The only change with the loot will be the items that were modified in patch 1.10, the catch-up mechanics. Things like the tier 0.5 dungeon set, recipes like Titanic leggings. With the tier 0.5 set, I think there were added some bosses in dungeons. Basically the catch-up gear. They talked a bit after phase 6, what will happen there. And I think I saw this earlier I saw them talking about this on the Classic Cast podcast today, and they're open to suggestions. They have an idea of opening new servers for Classic, opening Burning Crusade, making Classic Plus or something. So the idea is still there. They are focused more on Classic right now, and it's normal. And then they made a lot of they talked about layering a lot. They made a bit of they made many fixes to it. Like a lot of things that people reported, apparently they're now fixed. I'm not gonna go over it. It's a lot, and probably most of us will not even understand. I guess we'll have to wait to see layering in game and see how it turns out to be. This is already something that you cannot change anymore. It's a system that has been developed and worked to be at launch to alleviate the launch queues and so on. Now, what I want to touch about this, they said even today on the Classic Cast podcast, they will try to remove this as soon as possible from the game. Worst case scenario, they keep it until phase 2, right before phase 2. Best case scenario, and they said something like, at the launch, they will add as many layers as possible to alleviate the flux of players that try to play at the same time, but they will remove them one by one. As soon as people move from the starting zones, they will remove layers. To a point, maybe they will have only a couple of layers. Okay, overpopulation. This is a plan. Like, we're gonna get more into this when we talk about the new servers and the new name reservations. But they expect to have huge queues at launch. So if by any chance you're on a realm where the population is full, think about it twice, as they said that queues can be very high, 3 to 4 hours or something like that. I'm not sure if this will be correct with the layering system, but we'll have to wait and see. They asked about the layering population cap. They gave no real answer. They were trying to dodge those questions. I don't think they want to scare people away, and I can understand that. And someone asked, will you offer free realm transfers if servers get way overpopulated after launch? And this is definitely one of the options we are considering, but for now we are encouraging players to use the name reservation period to transfer their characters to lower population realms. I'm gonna get into this a bit later. Paid character transfer will be eventually on the shop. Not sure when. No boosts, no character servers. They're not considering anything at this time. Now that's pretty vague, but okay. They talked about no changes. And here there was a question here. Spell batching seems to be causing problems with AoE abilities, such as people being able to run over hunter traps and not going off. You know, probably you saw some clips. I think they were made by a rogue, and they literally just walked over the freezing trap. If you time it perfectly, you can walk over it and not get trapped. And they said this is actually not related to spell batching. Traps and AoE abilities check for the presence of targets during the heartbeat update. If the target moves through them between 2 heartbeat updates, they will not get trapped. This is how it was in Vanilla 1.12. Now, I played the Hunter in Vanilla. I don't think it was like that. No one was able to walk over my ice trap as a Hunter and not be affected by it. Even if they try to go around it, sometimes it will still get them. I don't remember this in the game being, but let's see how it turns out. Anyway, if the game will have some bugs at launch, it had some bugs in 2004. People will report them and they will probably fix them. So I wouldn't worry too much about this. They asked the question about I'm not sure if you guys seen a full raid group going to Onyxia, and then right before Onyxia it's about to die, they would hearthstone. 30 people would hearthstone, and then the loot would be shared between 10 people, and the people that hearthstone would be able to go and do Onyxia again. Apparently this will not be possible in Classic. So the people that you get into Onyxia, they will get locked out or something. I'm not sure exactly how this works, but apparently this exploit, which is basically a formal exploit trying to do Onyxia with a guild with 10 men, well, you do it with 40 and 30 run away so they don't get locked. I'm happy that this is not possible. If you want to get more Onyxias done as a group, as a guild, make 2 groups of 20 people. I'm pretty sure you should be able to kill Onyxia with 20 people with the knowledge and the skill you have nowadays. World buffs. The world buffs will be as they were, and they will function as they did in 1.12. Everything will be available. Sunflower Serenade, maybe Blackhand's head. But the problem is that Onyxia's head, the Rallying Cry of the Dragon Slayer buff, will have a cooldown. They're not saying here exactly what's the cooldown. I don't remember. On private servers, you were able to, whenever you were popping a buff, you were getting a buff. But apparently, while the head of an Ixia or Nefarian is in your major city or Grimoire or Stormwind, you will not be able to pop another one, or you'll be able to turn in the quest, but you will not get the buff or something like that. They have a cooldown. I'm not sure what that cooldown will be. Some changes. This is an interesting story. You know, back in vanilla, when you were having a mass fight, all the skeletons of the players were remaining on the ground. And this won't happen anymore. Skeletons will disappear. I guess it cuts a bit from the immersion. They gave a reason that some people were putting racist comments with the bodies typing in the world. So I guess they have a reason why they removed that. At launch, everyone will have the same odds to enter, as you will be able to log into your character screen, and the button to enter world will turn light up, you know, be available to push exactly at the same time for everyone. So I'm not sure if you guys reserved your name, but you know that it says there 100 hours remaining, or whatever they say, 98 hours remaining. Exactly when the button lights, everyone can press it and have probably the same odds to get on. Good luck on that. I really hope you get on really early so you can avoid the queues or something else. If you get inside, try not to log to install an add-on or do some stupid shit, or you might be stuck in the queue. Good luck on getting on the server early on. Wish me luck as well, because I'm in the same situation as you guys. Wow, queue times. They keep on pushing and pushing on the idea of, if you're playing on a server that is full, like Shazra EU or Golemag EU or Herod NA, you know, the full servers, the really overpopulated ones, they keep on saying and saying over and over again, please try to go to a different server. But like I said, we'll get into this later. Apparently they're expecting some lengthy queues. Launch experience improved. Emergency realms, so in case there are too many people trying to play, they will open new realms. Now, most of people will not choose to go on the new realms, but I'm pretty sure if they're forced to sit like 4 or 5 hours in a queue, they will definitely just go, because that's how usually it happens. System requirements, miscellaneous, and basic stuff here, fun questions, and so on. We learned a lot about this, and the most important one was the loot with Molten Core. I think we're overextending a bit on this one, and let's move to the realm news. So 14 hours ago, EU Forums KVAX just announced 4 more PvP servers for EU. If they opened 4 more PvP servers for EU, this is good. Imagine what the demand is for Classic WoW. How many players reserved names on Shazra, Golemag, and so on? 4 more PvP servers and 1 more normal. This is crazy. Now, the fun fact part about those servers will be that on 26 August at 8 o'clock, well, you have to click on this link to check your current time. They will allow players to reserve 10 names. That means an extra 7 compared to the first 3 they will have. This is, I think, like 5 hours before launch. So by that, I think they're trying to fix the queue issues at launch. I mean, 4 servers. A lot of people will be willing to move on some of the new servers. Flamelash, Gandling, Mograine, Nethergate Keep, and Reservoir. For NA, they will have the same. 2 more PvP servers and 2 more PvE servers. Apparently the demand in NA for PvE servers is higher. So yeah, this is on top of the other servers they open, because they open new servers. I think on EU they open Gehennas, Parmo, and I think they open new ones on NA as well. At this time, all realms have full or high population tag are expected to experience extended queues. We urge players on realm marked full or high to plan or play on one of these new realms to avoid the longest queues. and to help spread the player population as evenly as possible and provide the best play experience for everyone. Wow. So you will be able to reserve 10 character names on 5 hours prior to launch for a total of 50 characters across all classic realms per WoW account. So you can make 50 characters per WoW account. I don't think anyone needs to make 50 characters, but nevertheless, you have the possibility there. This is pretty interesting, and I think they're working hard as we speak. They're working right now to create the best classic World of Warcraft experience. Sorry if I'm talking too much, but I'm so hyped. I'm so pumped, guys. This is happening, and I'm pretty sure maybe some of you can draw some information from this, from everything we learn now. Maybe you have a different plan with the loot system. Maybe now knowing that some of the servers, maybe you choose a server like Shazra. If you don't have a plan with a guild or something, maybe you don't have to roll there, you know? Or you can roll there, but if you find that you cannot get in, maybe you have a backup plan so you can roll on the second round on a new one. Or I just want this to go good for everyone. I don't want people to sit on queues. I hate that. I've been through a lot of fresh launches on private servers, and it's a bad experience when people watch you play and they cannot do it themselves. Moving on, apparently drama is coming through the Addon section. Icy Veins made a tweet with a looking for group add-on, classic looking for group. Now what this add-on does, it's basically an LFG tool. It has a healer, tank and DPS role. I think it was tested by Mr. GM, and it works like this. He set up the group, he went to take a pee. When he came back, he had the full group ready for classic without him being required to socialize with them. Now, I'm not sure exactly how we will be able to stop those add-ons. Probably they will do something about it, because there's a drama on Twitter about it. Probably people make videos about it, and if this ends up being in game, I would like to ask you to not to use it. Stay away from it. Don't install it. Like, fuck it. Then there's another add-on, and there's a lot of drama with it. It's called Classic WoW Gearscore. You remember the Gearscore from Wrath of the Lich King, when you were trying to get into a group and people were like, Gearscore? What's your Gearscore? And people with higher Gearscore, less skilled than people with less Gearscore, were not able to get into guilds, arenas, and whatever the fuck, normal groups, because do not install this add-on, Gearscore, because the meta will be made by the players. Do not play by the rules in case they end up in game. Probably they will make a change that those will not be able to run, as according to Ion has cost us. They want to limit the add-ons that promote automation or something. Like the looking for group add-on is definitely something that automatically invites people in your group. I hope they can and why would you create this as a first? Have you no respect for classic WoW? As an add-on developer, why would you create this? I don't know. I'm pretty sure they will take care of this. This is something that should not be in classic, and let's move on. As you guys know, lately I've been promoting Joanna's guides on my channel on a couple of occasions, and it's a very nice guide that I used for a couple of times while leveling my characters on private servers. You have 1.12 versions for each character, each race, and then recently this guide was available for a long time. Recently Joanna locked his guides from 12 to 60 under a membership login. I think it's a 5 a month or 12.75 quarterly. People went crazy. They made a post on Reddit and basically, how dare she? And I just got mailed by Joanna last night, and he was trying to offer me like an affiliate link, so I would get a chunk of that money. It was a nice offer. I didn't respond back to it. because I don't think I deserve the money that Furious Paul put into those guides over the years and tried to perfect them, and other people tried to steal them from him. From what I understood, I'm not sure if this is correct, apparently he needs heart surgery or something. Maybe this is one of the reasons why he locked them behind the guide, but nevertheless, if you guys want to use it, I don't want an affiliate link. I'm just trying to give a shout out to the guy because over the years I've used his guides and they helped me. And I'm not here to comment why, how dares he. It's $5, come on. If you want to help the guy, it's good. If not, fine, 2 coffees. In case you don't want to do this, there's another website called classicwow.live. I think this is with no, I know it's with Cargos and other guys. They have some guides here where you can choose your faction and choose your group size. You can choose your race and you can choose your class and then start leveling. And there's a nice leveling add-on. The only problem with these leveling guides, there's a chance that during launch time the websites might crash because I'm not sure exactly what bandwidth they have. This is an equivalent, a free equivalent to Joanna's guide if you guys prefer something else. Wow. Okay, I think we talked about a lot, about nothing and about a lot. There were so many information coming towards us quite before, right now before launch, and I'm getting more and more hyped. Probably at the time where you're watching this video, if you made it this far, I will be live on Twitch. If you have more questions, you can drop by and or hang out, and we can talk more about Classic to make those 3 days pass faster. Wow. How do you guys feel about Classic now? Oh my god, I've been working the past days to change my sleeping schedule because I will wake up a couple of hours before the official launch. And my first session will be probably a 24-hour session, then sleep for 6 to 8 hours, then do another 16-hour session, then sleep for 6 to 8 hours, do another 16-hour session, all the way to 60. I'm hoping to achieve it in less than 1 week, about 4 to 5 days played. We'll see exactly how it turns out. We don't know exactly how dungeon leveling goes. Well, we have an idea because elites give more XP than they used to do on private servers. So not only that they die slower, they die easier, but they give more XP. It's about 225% compared to a normal mob. The idea behind spell cleave groups formed by mages, and especially AoE spell groups and melee cleave groups that are made by warriors and enhancement shamans, paladins, druid tanks and so on, has really boomed. Like, this changed the meta a bit, and a lot of things will change the meta in Classic, as we talked about Molten core and loot and phases and honor system. It's going to be totally different than a private server experience. This is the real shit. Based on the number of servers they re-released, I'm not even sure how many we have right now. Let's go on the NA realm and check the Classic. Oh my god, what do we find? I don't know. I think we have like 15 servers EU, somewhere around there, including the German ones, the French ones, and so on. Germans received another 2 servers. It's crazy. It's crazy. I think it's going to be a great launch. I hope to see you there. Thank you for everything, guys. This is fucking great. I'm so freaking proud of everyone. I'm proud of the community we have. I'm proud of the development team. I'm proud that we finally get something great for ourselves. This is it. Thanks for watching. Stay frosty.